An historic moment for Maryland's new governor-elect. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. DC News Now's political and government reporter Leonard N. Fleming had the first interview of the day with Governor-elect Wes Moore, the only black man to ever win that office. Leonard.
Yes, indeed, Mark. Wes Moore will also be the third black governor in our nation's history. Moore tells me he wants to be bold and act fast in his first 100 days. Moore has lofty goals to improve education, tackle crime, and improve people's lives. And he says he has the voter mandate to do it all. The polls said it and voters confirmed it. Wes Moore will be Maryland's next history-making governor. Now Moore is outlining how he plans to reach across the aisle and partner with elected officials around the state to get things done. In his first interview as governor-elect, he talked about being bold on the kitchen sink issues.
There are big issues that they want this team, that they want the Moore-Miller administration to be able to deal with quickly. That is things like how are we having 21st century schools for all of our students, and how are we making sure we're prioritizing public safety in all of our neighborhoods, and economic growth, that we're going to create pathways for work, wages, and wealth. That's what people are looking for, and that's also what I'm excited to deliver.
Moore also told me he got a congratulatory call from Governor Hogan promising a smooth transition. Coming up in the next hour, we talk to Maryland's next governor about his 100-day plan to put more money in the pockets of Marylanders. Live in the studio, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now.
Happening now, evacuation orders have been issued as Tropical Storm Nicole approaches the Florida coast. This video was posted by the Flagler County Sheriff, but could we have any impact here? Meteorologist Damon Madsen joins us with more. And Damon, what can you tell us?
Well, yeah, Mark, exactly. We continue to keep an eye on Tropical Storm Nicole. It's been having an impact on those Florida beaches, no question. And it is set to roll our direction here in short order. First and foremost, though, catching up on the day today. Well, it was a very chilly start to your Wednesday morning. Plenty of 30s, some upper 20s out there early. And then we have since recovered those temperatures back up into the 50s. Just a cool and very sunny day. Quiet as ever. A nice middle part of the week for us weather-wise, no question about it. And as we move along here through the rest of your evening here, we are expecting those mostly clear skies to continue. Temperatures are going to drop off now over the next several hours down into the 40s, but starting tonight, we're already going to see cloud cover on the increase as Nicole turns toward the southeastern coastline and then goes up the east coast over the next couple of days. We'll start out with that increase in cloud cover tonight into Thursday, and then eventually some of the rainfall is set to move in to our area by Friday. There's a good look on the satellite loop of Tropical Storm Nicole. It is just short of hurricane strength as it crosses the Bahamas. It's likely to make landfall over the Florida coast here later on this evening, and then it will start to take that sharp turn off to the north and bring all of the rainfall and some of the wind it also has with it into the DMV and four-state region. But there have been some changes to what impacts we could see. Could this storm end up being a little bit more on the weaker side as it rolls into our area? And how quickly does it exit as we go into the upcoming weekend? We'll have a check on that and much more coming up in your full forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Happening tomorrow, D.C.'s Attorney General Karl Racine will hold a news conference. He says that he will make a major announcement about the Washington Commanders. This news conference comes just nearly a week after the team's owner, Dan Snyder, hired Bank of America to explore a possible sale. Well, House Minority Whip Steve Scalise announced a bid to become the next House Majority Leader today. That's according to our partners at The Hill. He says that he has a proven track record of bringing together a wide range of viewpoints in the GOP. His current job as whip is to rally votes in favor or against legislation among Republican members of the House. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser takes a victory lap after winning her third term in office. Today, she laid out her plan for the next 4 years and answered questions about rising teen violence in the district. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joins us live from the Wilson Building. Daniel, Mayor Bowser, she acknowledges the problem, but has she proposed any concrete solutions? That seems to be the concern in the region.
Well, Mark, basically she stopped short of any real substance, but did say they are working and having discussions about how to prevent more violence. She says that's a priority of her new term. 8 years as mayor, and Muriel Bowser persistently gets heat about the rising crime among teens in the district.
If I see a teenager who has been shot, it's more than likely it's a teenager who did it. And so we have to really focus on those young people that we know have been involved in violent crime or victims of violent crime.
Bowser says the city administrator actually held a meeting with officials on Election Day to talk about what changes need to happen to prevent violence. One of their big focuses is on violence interrupters.
We're spending millions upon millions of dollars. And one thing that we know is lacking in our approach is coordination among all of the offices.
One instance is a difference of strategy right now between herself and Attorney General Karl Racine. And Bowser says she looks forward to working with newly elected AG Brian Schwab.
One big thing that we both recognize we need to work on together is our violence interruption strategies.
She hopes to get more feedback on solutions from neighbors and even her transition team, co-chaired by LaQuandra Nesbitt, most recently with DC Health.
Dr. Nesbitt, for example, led one of our earlier committees on Safer, Stronger DC, and a lot of the work that we do around gun violence is rooted in public health.
Another big piece to the puzzle is the ongoing search for a director of the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. And Police Chief Robert Conti told us last week that overall juvenile arrests are up almost 13% year over year. We're live at the Wilson Building in Northwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you. New tonight, WNBA star Brittany Griner has now been moved to a Russian penal colony. That's according to Griner's legal team. They say that they don't know how or have any information on her exact current location or her final destination. Russian penal colonies descended from Soviet-era gulags and are characterized by their forced labor. Griner's appeal against her 9-year sentence was denied last month. She's been jailed in Russia since February over cannabis charges. Well, one of the congressional races undecided right now is Maryland's 6th District. The redrawn 6th District takes in all of the following counties: Garrett, Allegheny, Frederick, Washington, and also part of Montgomery County. DC News Now's Annalisa Gale is live tonight in downtown Bethesda with a look at where things stand. Annalisa.
Well, Mark, right now, Republican Neil Parrott is leading with about 51% of the votes, but right behind him is his opponent with about 48% of those votes.
Delegate Neil Parrott, and this is Neil the Parrott. I'm running for Congress.
David Trone grew up on a farm lost to the bank. It gave him the drive for hard work.
Maryland is waiting to see who wins the 6th congressional district seat, with Republican Neil Parrott and incumbent Democrat David Trone almost neck and neck.
How long could this go on for?
Well, this could go on for a while. There's a lot of ballots, particularly mail-in ballots, that have yet to be counted. So it could be several days before we know who the winner of the 6th district is. And so in the meantime, we just have to sit back and watch and see what happens.
Matthew Green, chair of the Department of Politics at Catholic University, says this year the race was more competitive due to recent changes.
But one of the big things that made the 6th district of Maryland an interesting race this year is redistricting. The district was changed and it was made more conservative, but the incumbent, David Trone, is a Democrat. So one of the questions was whether he could survive a redrawn district.
Several areas could play a role in the outcome.
We have a lot of ballots left to be counted in Montgomery County and in Frederick County. Montgomery County especially, which leans heavily Democrat, that could be a major source of late votes for Trone and could put him over the edge. But, we don't know for sure. And, Frederick County is a bit more of a swing area. So I think that's kind of what we're waiting to see.
It's still too soon to say exactly what will happen next.
I would be hesitant to predict that we won't know who wins that race, but obviously anything's possible. And if Parrott can really bring up his vote totals in rural and suburban Maryland and parts of that district, it could be a very, very close race, and we could have a recount.
Now on Twitter, Trone did agree that it could take several days for all the votes to be counted, but he also says he's confident that he's heading back to Congress. Live in downtown Bethesda tonight, Annalisa Gale, DC News Now.